Hello everyone, welcome to the part 0 of All You Need to Know About Academic Research video series. So this series is going to be extremely helpful for early career researchers who are just getting themselves started in the research domain, because I am going to discuss everything you need to know about academic research, the research life cycle and everything. Even if you are not into research yet, maybe you are in third year of college or fourth year of college and you are just thinking about whether you should jump into a research career or not, this video series is for you. If you are not an early career researcher, if you are not even, a research enthusiast, if you are maybe a semi-experienced researcher, for example, maybe you are in two of PhD or you have just completed your master's thesis, still, this series is going to be extremely helpful for you because it will give you a big picture of the entire research domain. Finally, if you are a supervisor supervising PhD students, if you are a senior researcher supervising interns or junior researchers, this video series is for your students. What you can do is when a newbie or a new guy comes in, normally what you need to do is you need to brief them up about everything of the research and you need to gradually teach them all of these steps. And since you are very busy as a supervisor or a professor of a university, or maybe a senior researcher at a reputed organization, you probably don't want to do this again and again and again. So what you can do is you can give your students or maybe people in your lab or maybe people who are new in your team this video series. They will go through it and then they can ask you further questions for clarification. This will save tremendous amount of time for you. Before I begin what I'm going to discuss in this particular video series, let me briefly introduce myself. So my name is Rafid. Currently, I am doing PhD in National University of Singapore in the computer science domain. My research is mainly involved in cancer genomics and AI. And currently, I'm in the fourth year of my studies, and hopefully, I'm going to finish my PhD soon. So, even before PhD, I have worked in several research labs, and I've also worked as a lecturer in a university in my country. So, I have around, I would say, 6 to 7 years of research experience. So, I will be able to help you out with this video series. So, let's now discuss what exactly are we going to cover in this entire series so that you know whether you are going to have sufficient value by following along through this series. The very first thing that we are going to talk about is how exactly are you going to determine your research interest. This is the million-dollar question that young researchers or early career researchers face. They always ask the question that how do I know which field of research I should go to, or how do I get started with research? So this particular tutorial is going to resolve that question for you. In part 2, we are going to talk about how you can manage your research supervisor. As an early career researcher, your first task is to go under someone who has vast amount of experience. But these guys, these prominent guys, a lot of people are chasing them. So how can you chase them successfully, and how can you maintain a great relationship with them such that they give you the valuable time that they have? In part 3, we are going to talk about research lifecycle. Now that you have successfully got to your research supervisor, you need to do serious amount of research. How can you do the literature review? How can you get the problem statement? How can you work on the experiments? How can you work on the evaluation? How does the experiment evaluation cycle goes on and on? All those things will be discussed in this tutorial. And also, what are the different types of research works undertaken will also be discussed here, because you need to know exactly in which research track you go to. Sometimes this is not clear in advance, and if it is not clear, then you can easily go to a wrong track, and then after 1 year you can find out that maybe I should have done something else. So you can avoid that by following this tutorial. Next one is how you can write the research paper. Now this is an extremely difficult and cumbersome process because you need to write the paper as a story. I'm going to show you how to exactly do that, how to prepare very nice figures, supplementary figures, etc. So if you follow along this tutorial, you are going to know all about research paper writing, which is not at all an easy process, by the way. Next part is, suppose you are done with the research paper writing, now you need to select the right venue, the right publication venue, such as a journal for publication. I'm going to show you how to actually evaluate each journal according to its subject matter, according to its topics, and also according to its impacts and scores, etc. So after you go through this tutorial, you can judge each journal very robustly and not blindly submit papers in a journal. Then comes the paper submission and peer review process. You have selected a journal now. Now, how exactly are you going to submit the paper? And after submission, how exactly is the peer review process, which is the process of publication, goes in different journals. That is something I'm going to discuss in this video, and I'm going to show you real life examples of submissions to actually clarify the process. In the next part, I talk about research conference. Now, research conference is actually a very necessary thing for communication and networking in research. I'm going to show you different types of conferences, different types of research papers and posters that are actually published in conferences so that you get a crisp and you get a discrete idea about what research conference means and how you can use the research conference to broaden your horizon and to broaden your networking during research. Finally, in part 8, I am going to discuss how you can ruin your reputation as a researcher. Now, this is a sarcastic title, by the way. I don't want you to ruin your reputation as a researcher by following this video. In this video, I will actually show you what are the wrong things, what are the naive things, and what are the maybe deliberate mistakes, psychological mistakes you can make during your research. And these mistakes will surely ruin your career as a researcher. So by following this video, you can avoid those mistakes. I hope that from part 1 to part 8 will cover everything you need to know about research, about academic research as a researcher, and hopefully you gain all the success that you deserve as a researcher in your life. If you like the video series, feel free to donate to our channel. The donation link will be in the description. Also, the links of part 1 to part 8 of the video series will also be given in the description so that you can easily pursue the topic you want to pursue, if there is any specific topic you have in mind that you want to pursue. So if you like the video, make sure to share and subscribe. If you are a professor or a supervisor, share it. You can share it with your students. If you are someone who is an early career researcher, him or herself, you can share it with your colleagues and friends. Thanks very much.